In the silent halls of eternity, a whisper echoes. All that appears solid is but a dream within the cosmic mind. What if the ground beneath our feet and the stars above our heads were nothing more than sparks of thought, light woven into form by an infinite intelligence? Reality as we know it may be an illusion, a grand play of shimmering images on the screen of space. Ancient sages spoke of Maya, the veil of illusion, and taught that behind all form is a single light of mind. In our own era, a modern sage, Walter Russell, pierced that veil. He revealed that the very substance of the universe is living light, and what we call matter is merely light compressed into form by cosmic mind. He taught that thinking is electric, knowing is magnetic, hinting at an eternal interplay of cosmic forces, an active creative energy, and a silent, centering presence. Prepare now to embark on an initiatory journey. We will explore the illusion of matter and the secret principles by which form arises from formlessness. Along the way, we will discover the rhythmic law that balances creation, unveil the difference between the sensing man lost in appearances and the knowing adept who perceives truth, and learn how thought itself is a power that shapes reality. This is no mere intellectual exercise. It is a ceremony of remembrance, a mythic voyage back to the center of our self, where the electric and the magnetic unite in the heart of creation. All reality is mind in motion and light in rhythm. This is the foundation of the ancient mysteries and the core of Walter Russell's illumination. Envision the universe as an ocean of consciousness, utterly still at its depth, yet dancing with waves on its surface. In that depth lies pure knowing, silent, changeless, magnetic. At the surface, those waves are thinking, dynamic, ever-moving, electric. The eternal stillness of the one mind gives rise to twin forces that stir the cosmos into motion, much as a calm sea, when stirred, forms waves that rise and fall. Creation is essentially a thought process within the mind of the divine, a cosmic daydream in which thought vibrations become the energy and matter we perceive. To grasp this, we must recognize that matter is an illusion of form. What we experience as a physical object is not solid or separate as it appears. It is light energy choreographed by an unseen intelligence. Imagine white light passing through a prism, fanning into many colors. The colors seem separate, yet each is only an aspect of one light. Likewise, every rock, dead tree, and body is a facet of the one cosmic light, slowed down and crystallized into visible form. Walter Russell revealed that matter is nothing but concentrated light, light waves tightly wound up like coiled springs. In turn, what we call empty space or energy is expanded light, the same light unwinding and returning to stillness. Think of a star. Science sees a star as a ball of gas and plasma, but mystically it is a brilliant thought of God, a point where cosmic light is compressed into a blazing sphere. Around that star stretches space, dark and seemingly empty, yet not empty at all. Rather, it is light unbound, a silent ocean of potential. The star and the space are two phases of one continuum. One is light gathered, the other light released. The illusion of physical solidity is like a mirage. The mirage of water in a desert has no substance, only light playing tricks on the eye. So too, matter has no independent substance, only light and motion. Our senses perceive the motion and form, but our spirit, when awakened, perceives the light behind the form. Mystics across cultures have described creation in similar terms. Some say the universe is God's dream. Others call it the breath of Brahma, or the grand thought of the all-mind. All agree that the world of form is a mental projection of the divine. In other words, The physical universe is a thought wave made visible. Much like music becomes audible from an unheard melody, mind in motion appears as energy. And when that energy dances in rhythm, it sketches out atoms and galaxies. What holds this wondrous display together? It is held by consciousness, the great magnetic stillness at the center of all motion. Picture a wheel. Its rim spins swiftly, but at the hub is a point of perfect stillness. Similarly, the still consciousness of the Creator is the unmoving axis, and the electric activity of thinking spins around it. That center of stillness is pure knowing, and from it extend the spokes of thought and the whirling rim of matter. From the smallest atom to the brightest star, all things are organized around a centering stillness. Reality is not a collection of separate objects at all. It is a living idea expressed by the one light and then withdrawn back to it. We truly live in a thought wave universe. Every mountain, every leaf, every beam of light is a record of the Creator's electric thinking. Much like a painting is the record of an artist's inspiration, yet the painting is not the inspiration itself. The form is not the source. Thus the sages remind us, do not mistake the image for the real. The forms will change and pass away. The light behind them is eternal. The wise see the world as a sacred image woven by cosmic mind, beautiful yet transient as a dream. And just as every dream has a dreamer, this grand dream of matter has an infinite dreamer. If all matter is light and all light is thought, what then are we? We, too, are luminous ideas in the mind of the universe. Our physical bodies are composed of dancing atoms, traces of electric thought, but our true self is an extension of that quiet, centering light. In truth, we are beings of light pretending to be flesh. This recognition that our essence is not the transient clay, but the eternal light, is the foundation for all deeper insights. When we truly see the world as a divine light show, a cosmic projection, we begin to ask not just what the illusion is, but how it is woven. We become ready to uncover the hidden mechanics by which the one light spins the illusion of form, and to learn how that knowledge can help us awaken from the dream. Creation is a tapestry woven from two fundamental forces, one outgoing and expressive, the other ingoing and formative. In Walter Russell's terms, these are the positive and negative halves of the electric wave. In mythic terms, we can call them the father principle and the mother principle. Throughout the ages, sages symbolized them as yin and yang, sun and moon, or the twin serpents entwining the staff of Hermes. All these point to one truth. The one light divides into two forces so that creation may appear. In Russell's insight, these two cosmic forces are electricity and magnetism working in tandem. Electric energy is the active, fatherly force that compresses light into form. Magnetic light is the receptive, motherly force that holds form together and gives it stability. Electricity moves outward like the outbreath of God, while magnetism draws inward like the in-breath. Think of a cosmic heartbeat. The Creator's thought pulses out to manifest worlds, electric expansion, and then draws back to the source, magnetic contraction. Creation is this perpetual pulse of opposites. Governing this pulse is the universal law of rhythmic balanced interchange. Russell called it the keystone of the universe, for it ensures that all giving must be matched by equal re-giving. In essence, what is given is returned, what is inhaled is exhaled, what is wound must unwind. This law maintains cosmic balance, even as everything changes. Consider your breath. You cannot only inhale or only exhale. Each must follow and equal the other. Day must give way to night, and night back to day. So it is with all opposites. Each becomes the other in time, in an eternal ebb and flow. This balanced interchange is nature's secret of continuity. It is why stars and planets stay in their orbits. Every push has a pull, every rise a fall. If one force dominates too much, the universe corrects it. Too much heat triggers cooling. Too much gathering eventually forces release. Harmony is always restored because imbalance cannot endure. In our lives, too, if we take without giving or give without renewal, eventually we face a correction that brings things back to center. The cosmos insists on equilibrium. Here is a hidden truth. Opposites are not enemies, but partners. The dark of night is not in conflict with the light of day. Each defines and complements the other. They are two sides of one coin, two phases of one cycle. When true opposites meet and balance, they cancel out into unity and peace, like two dancers coming into a perfect embrace. The union of masculine and feminine in love is one sacred example, where duality momentarily dissolves and new life emerges. So, rather than a battle, polarity is a sacred marriage. It is the engine of creation, with the two halves forever chasing and blending into each other. All movement in the cosmos is rhythmic because of this interplay. Tides rise and fall, seasons turn, hearts beat. The universe itself may be breathing out and in over eons. The ancients spoke of Brahma's day and night. Modern science speaks of expansion and contraction. Both are glimpses of the same pendulum of cosmic rhythm. When one cycle ends, the opposite cycle begins endlessly. To live in ignorance of this is to struggle against the tide of life. To understand it is to move in harmony with the universe's flow. It is said that ordinary humans live by the five senses, while the enlightened live by the inner light of knowing. Our senses, as marvelous as they are, show only the surface of things, like shadows dancing on a wall. To truly know reality, one must go beyond sight and sound and enter the stillness within, where the truth reveals itself directly. Walter Russell emphasized the difference between a sensing person and a knowing person. The sensing person trusts the input of the eyes, ears, and earthly logic. He perceives a solid external world and forms conclusions from appearances. But Russell boldly stated that the brain does not think nor know. It merely records sensation. In other words, what we usually call thinking is often just the mind shuffling sensory memories, analyzing reflections, not grasping the essence. We believe we understand reality, but we are often only seeing its outer shell. True knowledge in the spiritual sense cannot come from these external observations alone. No matter how detailed our sensory information, it remains just information. Knowledge is something deeper, a direct insight that arises from union with the thing known. To know a truth, we must become one with it in consciousness, resonating with it from the inside. This is the gift of our higher faculty, intuition, or the inner light of the mind, which can perceive realities that the physical senses cannot. Think of the ancient allegory of Plato's cave. Prisoners see only shadows on a wall and take them for reality. Only when one prisoner turns around to see the fire, the source of the shadows, and eventually steps out into the sunlight, does he know the true cause behind the images. Likewise, as long as we rely solely on our senses, we are like those prisoners watching shadows. We see the effects, but not the cause. We mistake the body for the self and the sensory world for reality. In truth, you are not your body. You are the consciousness that uses the body. Your real eyes are in your spirit. How then do we move from sensing to knowing? The first step is to be still and listen beyond the noise of the senses. "Be still and know," is a timeless admonition. In moments of meditation or deep contemplation, when the chatter of thought quiets, the inner light shines. Suddenly, you just know, without needing to reason. In that silence, one can tap into the universal mind and remember truth that the brain alone could never deduce. This inner knowing is the magnetic essence we spoke of, the stillness that attracts truth, whereas active thinking is the electric motion that often only rearranges what is already known. Once we begin to awaken this inner knowing, a remarkable insight dawns. The separation between out there and in here is an illusion. We start to realize that the reality we observe is deeply connected to the consciousness observing it. In fact, our thoughts and beliefs play a role in shaping what we experience. Here we confront a powerful secret. Thought is an electromagnetic force that can mold our reality. If all is mind and light, then every thought we hold is a wave that travels through the medium of that one mind, influencing the patterns of light that later become our lived events. We have all experienced a glimpse of this. When we hold a positive vision or intention firmly in mind, somehow life seems to align to make it happen. When we dwell in fear or negativity, we often attract the very troubles we wished to avoid. This is not mere coincidence, but the law of mind in action. Thought, the electric aspect, sends out a creative wave, and belief or knowing, the magnetic aspect, draws in the substance to fill that wave's mold. In modern terms, this principle is sometimes called the law of attraction, but it is simply the age-old truth that mind is cause and experience is effect. However, there is a subtle key. To wield this creative power effectively, one's personal consciousness must harmonize with the universal consciousness. A mind agitated by doubt or selfish desire will produce weak and tangled results, just as a chaotic signal produces a distorted image. But a mind that becomes calm, clear, and attuned to the highest good becomes immensely powerful. When we align our intent with the rhythms of the cosmos and the will of the divine, which is always toward balance and harmony, our thoughts gain the backing of the whole universe. It is as though the cosmic mind lends power to the individual who thinks in tune with it. This reveals a beautiful paradox. We shape reality, and yet we must flow with reality. The more we realize our oneness with the cosmic mind, the more our personal creations reflect the harmony of the whole. In knowing ourselves as centers of consciousness connected to all, we transcend the old mindset of a separate little self pushing against the world. Instead, we experience ourselves as co-creators with the infinite, channels through which the universal light is focusing into unique expression. The role of human consciousness in the cosmos is thus profound. We are the universe become aware of itself and capable of directing itself. Carl Sagan famously said, "We are a way for the cosmos to know itself." Mystics would add, "We are also a way for the cosmos to create itself." Each of us is a microcosm, a miniature of the whole, endowed with the same powers of imagination and will that, on a grand scale, turn the galaxies. Our journey is to evolve from the state of the sensing man, who feels separate and mortal, to the state of the knowing divine human, who recognizes themselves as an immortal soul and a participant in the cosmic design. As we embrace this shift, we prepare to take conscious command of our lives. Understanding these truths intellectually is one thing. Living them is another. The next step is to bring these insights into daily practice, to train ourselves to think, feel, and act in alignment with the law of polarity and the rhythm of creation. In doing so, we begin to truly become the knowing adept, using our mind as the divine instrument it was meant to be. Having absorbed these truths, we now step into the realm of practice. Wisdom blossoms through action. How can we align our daily lives with the cosmic law of polarity and rhythm? What practices will help attune our electric thoughts and magnetic knowing so that we become conscious co-creators of our reality? Let us explore a few sacred techniques to integrate this wisdom. Conscious rhythmic breathing. Breath is the most immediate expression of polarity in our body. Each inhale, receptive, yang, is answered by an exhale, release, yin. By breathing with awareness, we tune ourselves to the cosmic heartbeat. Try this. Inhale slowly and deeply, imagining you are drawing in pure light and life force. Let it fill you. Pause in that fullness for a moment of gratitude. Then exhale just as slowly, releasing that light back out to the world, sending love or intention with it. Pause again in the emptiness before the next inhale. Inhale light, exhale love. A simple mantra for this practice. As you breathe, feel the circle of give and take. This rhythmic breathing centers you in the present and balances your energies. In stressful moments, returning to a deep, even breath can instantly restore harmony between your active and passive currents. Over time, your very respiration becomes a prayer, a wordless affirmation that you are in tune with the universal exchange. Rhythmic visualization and intention. Just as breath has a rhythm, so too should our use of creative thought. Set aside a few minutes daily, for example at dawn or before sleep, to perform a simple ritual of visualization. Begin by clearly defining an intention, a healing, a goal, a blessing you seek. Close your eyes and inhale, vividly imagining your desire fulfilled. See it, feel it, bathe in the joy or peace it brings. Then exhale and release the image to the care of the universe, trusting that it will take form at the right time. You can synchronize this with your heartbeat or a mental count to maintain a steady rhythm. Visualize on the inhale, surrender on the exhale. This practice combines the electric power of focused thought with the magnetic power of faith and release. By repeating it regularly, you are in effect planting a seed in the soil of the universal mind and then letting it grow. Remember, the key is balance, intent, and surrender, will and trust. Like a dancer following music, move your mind in deliberate steps and then let the cosmic forces carry the rest. Mental alchemy, polarity in emotion. Life will always present polar experiences, success and setback, praise and criticism, elation and despair. The adept learns to ride these waves by practicing inner alchemy. When a negative emotion arises, do not fight it head-on. Instead, transmute it by invoking its opposite. Feeling fear? Breathe in courage and confidence. Angry or resentful? Deliberately summon thoughts of compassion and forgiveness. You will notice the new vibration begins to dissolve the old. This is the law of polarity applied within the self. You are essentially changing the vibration of your inner state to its other pole. Over time, this practice makes you master of your moods rather than their servant. You realize you can shift your consciousness at will along the spectrum between any two extremes. In doing so, you maintain equilibrium and prevent the pendulum of emotion from swinging wildly out of control. Aligning with natural cycles, the universe operates in great cycles, and so do we. By syncing our activities with the natural rhythms of day, night, and seasons, we amplify our effectiveness. For instance, morning, sunrise, carries an energy of Genesis. Use it to set intentions, to begin projects or spiritual practices. Evening, sunset, carries an energy of reflection and release. Use it to unwind, meditate, and let go of the day's burdens. Likewise, many find that intentions wax stronger during the waxing moon, and releasing habits or negativity works well as the moon wanes. You need not become overly superstitious. Simply be mindful that there are times of expansion and times of contraction in all things. When you align your personal efforts with these larger tides, you essentially surf the wave of cosmic momentum instead of paddling against it. This cultivates a life of flow rather than struggle. The middle path of balance. Finally, make balance itself a daily practice. Observe the polarities in your life and seek the harmonious middle. Balance work and rest, intellect and intuition, speaking and listening, giving and receiving. When you notice excess in one direction, consciously invite its complement to restore equilibrium. This isn't about rigid moderation in every moment, but about a dance of adjustments. By living in awareness of your internal and external rhythms, you prevent the wild swings that lead to burnout or stagnation. You become like a well-tuned instrument, each string neither too tight nor too loose, ready to create beautiful music. By engaging in these practices, you begin to live what you have learned. You transform abstract principles into living experience. No longer a polarity and rhythm, just concepts. They become the very beat of your daily existence. You will find that your intuition grows sharper, your mind calmer, and your intentions more potent. In aligning with the cosmic laws, you step into your role as a conscious creator. You learn the art of cooperating with the universe, dancing with it, rather than feeling separate or at odds. And in that cooperation, life becomes a much more magical, meaningful journey. In the twilight of this journey, let us gather the many threads back into one tapestry of understanding. We began with a question whispered in silence. What if all that is solid is but a dream of light? Now, having walked the halls of mystical insight, we emerge with more than an answer. We emerge with a revelation felt in the soul. The human soul, your soul, is a luminous agent of the cosmic mind. You are an aperture through which the universe knows itself, and a spark through which the Creator thinks a new thought into being. In you, the electric power of thinking and the magnetic power of knowing converge into the very light of consciousness that can illuminate worlds. Remember this: thinking electric, knowing is magnetic. Thought sends out the creative current, and true knowing provides the guiding center. When you think, you unleash a lightning bolt of intention. When you deeply know in stillness, you become the magnetic field that draws that intention into form. The two are as inseparable as the two poles of a heartbeat. Mastery lies in uniting them within yourself, a mind focused like a beam of light, and a heart steady like a glowing ember of truth. Throughout life's journey, the soul gradually turns from chasing shadows to seeking the light itself. By aligning with the cosmic laws, the blueprint of creation, we reclaim our power as co-creators. Each soul is a hero in the cosmic story, tasked not with slaying others, but with transcending illusion. The only dragon to tame is ignorance, and the treasure to gain is remembrance of our oneness with the infinite. Now, as we conclude, a sacred call echoes, a call to remembrance and commitment. If these truths have stirred something in you, an ancient memory, a resonance of the eternal, honor that awakening. Accept this invitation to join our circle of wisdom. In modern terms, subscribe to the Alexandrian manuscripts. Do so not as a mere observer, but as an initiate stepping on to the next level of your path. By subscribing, you pledge yourself to keep this flame of knowledge alive and ensure that each new scroll of insight reaches you as it is unveiled. Consider it your rite of initiation in this journey of light. Before we part, feel the magnitude of what you are part of. Look up at the night sky and see the stars not as distant strangers, but as your kin, brilliant points of light in the same cosmic mind that you reflect. Feel the solid earth under your feet as condensed light, and the vast space around you as light set free. Realize that you are the bridge between heaven and earth. In you, the two poles of existence meet and become one. You are the still center of awareness that witnesses the universe, and the living spark of creation that can shape it. Take this final truth to heart. The light within you is the selfsame light that said, "Let there be light," at the dawn of creation. When you quiet the electric noise of the mind and listen to the magnetic whisper of your soul, you will realize that you and the divine are one light. In that sacred knowing, the illusion of separation dissolves, and you shine forth as an immortal being, a conscious star in the cosmic firmament. From that state, every thought becomes a ray of creation, and every act of knowing becomes a guiding star for others. Step forward now as a being of light. Create your world with love and wisdom, honoring the rhythm and balance in all things. Never forget that the greatest power is born of inner stillness, and the highest wisdom moves with purposeful action. Our ceremony of learning here may come to an end, but the true journey begins anew with each dawn. Carry these truths as a sacred flame in your heart, and let it illuminate every step of your path. Go forth and shine.